Another Bible returns to being a handheld game in or is a spin-off to Last Bible series, which is a spin-off to Megami Tensei series. So basically, Another Bible is just a spin-off to the Megami Tensei series. Did I not ever? Turns out, Another Bible is a tactical or strategy game, which I thought it was the first game in this genre that I finished, but which was tedious, mainly endgame, which lowers game's quality for me, for which there wasn't big quality or something like that, which didn't have big quality. But I remembered I played Digimon Survive, which is a visual novel with tactical gameplay elements, and I only finished one ending in it. Then I remember I played other Digimon tactical games, but I can't remember if I finished at least one of them. I think I didn't finish them. So Another Bible, which this video is about, is the first non-tactical game that I finished. However, even though I finish it, I don't like it, but I also don't hate it or dislike it. I guess I'll feel indifferent about this game. One of the reasons might be that there isn't fun, I guess two, or just one, Megami Tensei aspects is why I feel indifferent about this game. Or at least I didn't experience its Megami Tensei aspect. Another reason could be the start of the game was easy, maybe already just tedious, but then the endgame becomes just tedious. Because most of the game I didn't reset the game, but at the endgame I just reset the game mainly because party members were missing attacks a lot, even those party members that I tracked at enough lag stat. More about it later in the video. I guess which I'll like they spoiled, but I still found show footage of it. And even though it is a decently short game, it felt like the game should end earlier. But at least for me it overstayed a little bit. I am not sure if this is correct, but I found it easy that Another Bible was developed by this creative Inc. for short, I guess. Or at least that I assume that stands for it. Inc. stands for Incorporated. But I know it was published by Alvos for Game Boy. BBMP remade it for mobile phones, way before the smartphone era. It probably was also published by Atlus, which seems to be Los Meti. The only thing I found about it is some image in the March video about this game, which also includes different game in that video. Of course, because it was released only in Japan, officially. Of course, then I used a fun patch made by Aeon Genesis. Welcome back, Aeon Genesis. The only complaint that I noticed that was patch files. Or I assume that the patch is doing it is that next was glitching out here and there in dialogue. So with it I missed some details in the story. Speaking of which, The story is set in a fault-colored grass, where under a fur, omens and beasts, each demons lived peacefully together, coexisting. But history is starting to repeat. In game, the player character and girl character don't have set names, so I will count them as PC and grill. The premise is that while the PC was adventure is saves a grill and then the grill joins the party for journey to save the world. While on the journey they meet with no people who join the party and order a full attacks to find specific items and meeting with specific people to be able to save the world. The story is told by a narrator. Well, mostly the narrator says what the player needs to do or what happened. Of course, the story elements are also shared by talking with people or NPCs in villager towns. Now I have some noted drugs about the story, and which I didn't have any. Then I notice it is cliches or it's a cliche story. And the twist can be seen from a mail. Why I am using American terminology when I'm not American? Then again a mile is longer than a kilometer. Anyways, about another Bible. Back to the so-called twist. And when it was said to find somebody, I was like, oh, it must be that guy. Of course, in my mind. And as I mentioned before, I dragged the game fault and earlier, but no, it ended later than I dragged. Also, NPCs dialogue drives the game's dialogue, another Bible. It's not really intricate story, but it is always possible. I could say just an excuse to gameplay, which may be just basic tactical gameplay. How should I start with tactical gameplay? I guess with that you can choose which unit to move. It's because when a unit can move is based on speed. I guess turns are shared with the enemy if all units from both sides finish their actions, then the turn ends. What a unit can do is, of course, fight, use a spell at this time, use an item only on themselves, talk, check either something like opening a chest or fighting secrets, or ending their turn, turn in a turn without doing anything. Fighting, using a spell, item or just pressing done, of course ends the turn of the unit. The other options can be done as many times as you want, without ending the unit's turn, for example. You can move closer to chest and opening, and then either go to different chests and open it, or try talking with someone. About attacking, of course it is possible only when you are close enough to the enemy which your weapon or spell can reach. And the enemy or your only counter-attacking isn't guaranteeing that happens. Most spells happens without counter-attacks. Only here and there are counter-attacks. And when using a spell, the opponent only can counter-attack. Of course, it also is vice versa if the opponent only does a spell. With weapons, there is some chance that only can attack twice, or even counter-attack twice. However, only can miss even a counter-attack or second attack, or if both happens together. No, I don't think there can be a second counter yet. So in those situations, there wasn't any point of having those things in the first place. Especially when even first attack was missed. For spells, second activation doesn't happen, but a spell can target multiple units. Now, because it's basically a Megami Tensei spin-off, then what about Beast, Demon Recruited, and Fusion when there is an option to talk? There can release Fusion system is can. Release, I didn't know how to do it. You can trade tokens with enemy base, but nothing happens, and with it, there isn't a cathedral or a spell or something which can force base together. Even the storytelling in the base are recreatable. However, in the late game there is a shop with a base section which was empty for me. Talking is just for recruiting fixed recruitable units, and some lore terms when trying to talk with a specific enemy. Now about experience gained and level up when fighting or using a spell. No matter for your target, they only gets a small amount of experience. But if your only defends the opponent then they only gets more experience. Plus finishing the map, every alive only gets experience. And of course, what are on the vault, or on the map, or which were on the map. Each level up gives 2 points for stat increase of your choice. Which I tracked is just max was 20, because there are only 20 indicators, or something like that for each stats, but stats goes I get then 20. Game over is when enter the PC or the grill that you named dice, and then you need to lose a save file, which can be saved only on a battle map at the start of each turn. That's the reason why I didn't reset the game for most of the game. For map goals which are about reaching a specific locations, which is a goal in most maps, only the PC can finish it. On maps which have multiple floors going up stairs or changing map, not changing but having different location, then it adds extra steps for the on it. Before entering a new battle map, you need to select which units you want to take with you, of which there is a max capacity, how much you can air. Only units you air recruit. But of course, on battle maps you can find no units. Because of this, I wondered if I can recruit beasts or not. But I wasn't able to recruit them, or I misunderstood it. More or less that's all about battle maps, so now about how it is possible to get to different locations. Of course there is a world map, however the game wants you to the next locations automatically, and then there are villages or towns. Because the text box is always on, then I drop when I enter the first village, the dialogue will automatically show it, but no, turns out I am able to really move in a village, then talk with NPCs by interacting with them or going into the house that our doors open, or go shopping at rack shops. For asks for regular currencies now. So then E is actually rack or not? When E doesn't a gem acquisition is imposters or not? Or E even get gem acquisition on just yet? This game is item and matched description in visible locations, like equipment matching or item menu. Only for some items when buying them in a shop it is the the effect is secret, but then it is revealed in equipment menu. About equipment, you don't get new weapons. Onyx has weapons with which I started with. Equipment is something like attachments that does extra stuff and can be equipped only before entering a battle map and only one per on it. Here are some nitpicks that turned that I've forgotten for Digimon Story times treasured video. And miscellaneous stuff. It seems that sentence is already repetitive. Starting with that, you need to manually progress a puzzle, like either alt input or either alt A button or spam it to pass a dialog for puzzle. I cannot really for the puzzle text that shows if, for example, if only makes a coordinate. The game can slow down. I'm guessing because of too many sprays on Evolve. Of course you can find items that increase stats. At one point when found on my Onyx deck, I got confused if this game is permitted or not. And wrote a misremembered getting reviving items, which I couldn't find in the items menu, and so I was disappointed. I couldn't revive I fainted on it. Turns out reviving on it can be done only before entering a battle map. So this game doesn't permit them. It's kinda confusing system. In this game, opponents only moves only when my opponents are with them in say weapon or a spell range. This could be another reason why the game is easy but tedious. There are some spell effects that don't do any noticeable thing. Or I was just unlucky using them that they didn't do the effect. When characters talk like on its even the PC talks, the PC isn't a silent protagonist. Of course there is an inventory limit. If you have full inventory and you try opening caches, then you might be forced to drop an item from your inventory. There are also texts, but not sure what they are. Like opening a tech menu, I couldn't do anything afterwards. Maybe they are passive abilities, which I didn't notice if they do anything. I guess now it is time for a light spoiler. Skip to the proper chapter if you want to avoid it. I still want also footage of it. Are they gone? The final boss battle is just tedious, because my onions were missing a lot and then the boss counter-attack and it and killed my onions in 1 or 2 3 hits. And that wasn't enough, it also a second phase, so I just retried the battle from the very first phase and after I already reset the game to load the save file when my onions were missing. They changes the fight by dealing damage to the final boss using only one on it and set on its spell. And of course resetting the game when the onyx miss. And for the second phase I sacrificed onyx and only then I found a way to increase attack power for onyx, but the effect doesn't stack, but it seems it is active as long as you are on the battle map. And onward, I just resetted the game when the power on it misses. Sure, there isn't any sure. Sure, I probably lowered my enjoyment by resetting the game and the end game, but it was already low when my units were constantly missing, and for other reasons like the game didn't really intrigue me at the start of the game. At first I thought the previous said sentence will be the last sentence for the Nitpicks and Miscellaneous chapter, but I figured to start the wrap-up chapter with it. Even if another Bible is an easy but tedious tactical game, I don't think is a good entry point to getting into a tactical game genre, or actually any entry point to getting into tactical game genre. And at least some Megami Tensei fans will get disappointed that there isn't even a beast demon reckoning system. Or I just miss it. Still there isn't beast fusion system. So I'm not sure about recommending it to anyone. Or maybe even when I finish the game with resets, I still haven't found a tactical game that is for me. If there is a game in tactical game genre that is for me. So of course, another Bible isn't for me. I guess I'll just say what I'm always saying about games. If you can get an end on the game in one way or another, then you can try it out by yourself to see if you enjoy playing it or not, or to figure out things that I didn't figure out. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, subscribe and comment. See you next time.